inspiration lies in the fact that I grew up in the Yorkshire Dales, but I wasn't born here. So the Yorkshire Dales were just amazing to me and never ceased to be, and I spent most of my childhood walking around my home area in Wharfdale and really developing a love of the land, and then consequently really exploring areas which are very important to a lot of people, very well known landmarks like the Three Peaks. I think you just see the beauty in them, as many people do, and possibly that's another thing that people see in my work, is that they are seeing, I'm trying to convey what I feel about a certain landmark, which they will feel themselves, only I've put it down in image form. Certainly have been into art for as long as I can remember, going to galleries with my family and getting art books as a kid from relatives was probably a big part of it. Being very struck by certain images and certain artists like Aubrey Beardsley and Kay Nielsen, and I think their sort of fairy tale linear styles were very influential on my work now, and their influence by the Japanese landscape artists has definitely moved on into my work. The silk painting was introduced to me at school, and I loved it then. I loved the instantness of the technique and the brightness of colour. Because I can get a crisp line with the collage technique, that was very important to me, to have expressive painting, but to have a very crisp line when I was cutting out, that it would be instantly recognisable, but not a realistic depiction, because I don't use naturalistic colours particularly. So it has an element of realism and an element of expressiveness within the art. It starts with a walk, it starts with being outdoors, and then it changes into, you know, developing a collage, a very simple stylised collage design from the photographs or the sketches that I've done whilst I've been outside. And the painting starts off quite separate to that initial experience of going for a walk, and then bringing the two together to become the final piece. A lot of people, when they see it, think it's a print. A lot of people don't realise it is actually a textile art technique, and it's a collage technique. I think the collage as well, after studying art history at university and studying collage artists like Picasso, like Max Ernst, suddenly when you see it in that context, you can run with it, because you see where it started and you are just following that precedent in your own work. The common theme within all the Yorkshire pieces is that they are of iconic places that are very familiar to people. And the people who buy my work will tell me what their relationship with that place is, which is always a fascinating aspect to exhibiting and selling the work. They might live near a certain place, or they might have a positive memory of going up a certain hill with somebody, or a day out with their children, and buying a piece of the place that they went to. So there's always memories involved in the purchase. When it's right, and you've got the setup spot on, just sends the hairs on the back of your neck going up, because it has it. That piece of work just has it in that moment. Once you get the ball rolling with doing exhibitions and getting your work out there, and you get the positive feedback, which I have had, which is wonderful, you just want to keep going with this forever. It's just something that will never stop for me.